Hi and welcome to this video. I'm going to be teaching you how to only ever buy outstanding diamond properties, and we're going to really drill into how to identify the exact areas, the exact streets that you want to be buying these properties in. Okay, so this is all part of the Safe Secure Portfolio Plan. Remember, when I'm teaching people how to invest successfully in property, there are 10 key areas I was able to identify that people need to master at an 8, 9, or 10 out of 10 to get outstanding success in their property investing. Okay, and within this video, we're diving, just touching the surface really, but in a major way, in the simple selection system here. The simple selection system, how do we only ever buy outstanding properties? Okay, it also links to the powerful purchase plan. The powerful purchase plan. So we need to select the right properties as part of the powerful purchase plan to make sure, as I said, we're purchasing the right houses. So we've learned before that there are 6 key areas you need to get right to buy the right properties. We need to buy to the right capacity 3 and 4 bedroom houses in the right city. Family let properties, 3 and 4 bedroom houses, you're not buying local to you because it's easy and convenient. You want the best possible return on investment. If that best possible return is 100 miles away, 50 miles away, 200 miles away, you buy in the right city for the best financial return. You want capital appreciation. Remember, to get that, we buy close to a great secondary school, good public transport network, good road network. Okay, so there are within 5 miles of the city centre, in a town or a city. Okay, you want great cash flow. So there are all sorts of rules to work out the cash flow, which I've taught you before. You want to check the property will rent before you buy it. So you advertise the property to rent before you've even bought it. You agree to buy it the very same day, you advertise it to rent. If you don't get 10 replies in the first week, you walk away. So you're doing the check, and then you need to make sure you have contingency. You do not put every penny you have into this investment. Make sure you keep some contingency back. So if these are our rules, and these rules, by the way, will mean that you buy only ever outstanding investments that will perform really well, because you're going to get great capital growth, you're going to get great cash flow, you're going to be buying in the right places, the right types of properties, and you're going to know they're going to rent well forever. Okay, if you cover all those bases, you're in good shape. So how do we make sure, let's get into the nitty-gritty of this, how do we make sure we cover all those bases? Well, here's how. Here's the process you're going to follow. So the first thing you're going to do is identify an area where you can buy properties in that 70 to 130,000 pound bracket. With Rightmove these days, this is really easy. So let's say, for example, I'm looking to buy properties in Nottingham. I say, here's Nottingham. I'm going to buy properties in the 70 to 130 bracket. I do that price comparison, and I bring up all the properties in Nottingham within that price bracket. Okay. By the way, to be even more focused, I find the postcode of the middle of Nottingham. Okay, it might be the train station in the centre of town, might be the town hall often in the centre of town. I get that postcode. I do a search on Rightmove everywhere within 5 miles of there. Okay, and I look in the 70 to 130 bracket, and that brings me up a load of properties. Okay, what's the second stage of the process? Now, I look for schools that are in that map. Okay, so I want every single secondary school in Nottingham that's within 5 miles of the centre of Nottingham. Okay, I'm using Nottingham, and the school Ofsted report, you know, and you Google this, you know, say the school is Pindar School, you'd put Pindar School, Nottingham Ofsted report. You can get the Ofsted report really easily. Okay, so you Google that. If the Ofsted report is good or outstanding, it's in. If it's not good or outstanding, it's out. Okay, so you're looking for an Ofsted report that's good or outstanding. Step 3. You be clear on the specific property type you're buying. So if you're looking for 3 bedrooms, you know, you want 3 or 4 bedrooms. So you might be looking for 3-bedroom properties, or a 3-bedroom semi in that particular area, or a 2-bedroom that you can convert into a 3-bedroom. But really get clear on the type of property you're looking to buy, because you want to compare apples with apples. And again, that can go into your Rightmove search. You can say, I'm looking for 3-bedroom. So I normally in my search 3 to 4 bedroom properties that are 70 to 130. What's step 4? You need to check that the area's got good public transport, bus or train to the city centre, good road network, good shopping nearby. To be honest with you, if you're within 5 miles of a city or a town centre, you're pretty much certain to have ticks on those, definitely in the cities. Okay, so within 5 miles of the city centre, you're going to get a tick on that one. Now, what's step number 5? Check it's within 5 miles. We've done that. Step number 6. Okay, step number 6. So you now are going to funnel in. So when we've identified these school areas, okay, you're only going to buy properties within a mile radius of that school. Okay, now if you go out a mile in any direction from the school, it gives you quite a big area actually. So let's say in Nottingham, we've got 15 schools now, all within 5 miles of the city centre that all had a good or an outstanding Ofsted report. Okay, I'm now going to adjust my search areas. So I adjust my search areas by saying, right, okay, this particular school, I want to look for all the houses within a mile radius of this school. So you do this on Rightmove, you put the postcode of the school in, you want all the houses that you can buy for 70 to 130,000 within a mile of that postcode, okay? Because you now know it's a good or outstanding secondary school, you're looking within a mile radius. If you get some properties that come up, great, okay? And I have a spreadsheet with this data on, so I do the search once and then I've got it forever. So if some properties come up, great. If no properties come up, then that school is out and that area is out. So if some properties come up, I carry on checking. So now some properties have come up from my 15 different schools. I might do that and I end up with 8 of those or 10 of those, let's say 10, that have properties that are in that value range of 70 to 130 within a mile of the school that has a good or outstanding result. Now what I do, I speak to 3 local letting agents local to that school, and I speak to those letting agents about my target property. So if I'm looking to rent a 3-bedroom terraced house in this area, I say, look, 3-bedroom terraced house in this area, what will it rent for? As well as speaking to those letting agents, I can do some searches on Rightmove, properties to let that are within a mile of the school to look at the rents. I don't look at all the rents. If I'm buying a 3-bed terrace, I look at what the 3-bed terrace are renting for. So I speak to the agents, I look at the on Rightmove, I take all that data and I estimate the rent that I will get for that particular property. Okay, so now I've got a feel of the properties that I may be able to get, and I've got an estimated rent all for that particular school in effect. Okay, now I check the cash flow for the properties in that area. So using the normal cash flow rules that I've already taught you, you know, take the rent, the expected rent, minus £80 a month for maintenance, because an average 3 or 4 bed is £1,000 a year, minus the mortgage costs. So you look at what you'd buy the house for, 75% of that will be the mortgage, okay, and then you base that on 4.5% pay rate at the time of recording. Okay, the base rate's really, really cheap. Let's stress test ourselves for 7, 8, 9 years. So you base it on a 4.5% mortgage. You're going to get cheaper than that, but on interest only. So how much would a 4.5% mortgage on interest only cost me per month for that size mortgage? So you take that off, you take the maintenance off, you take off £20 a month for insurance, you take a letting agency at 10% plus VAT, you take that off, and you make sure that the money you've got left is at least enough that when you times it by 11, it's greater than the rent. Okay, I've taught you elsewhere how to do this, but I've just run that through really quickly in case you've forgotten. Okay, so that's your calculation to pass that rule. If it passes that rule for the average price property in that area with that type of rent, it's still in. Others have got ruled out now. You might be down to 6 or 7 areas. Okay, what do you do next? So now you need to check the rules. You're down to only 6 or 7 areas. You advertise a fake property. Okay, now how do you do that? These days you can do it on Zoopla, normally for free. You can advertise it online. You can even run an ad in the local paper, spend 40, 50 quid, but it's worth it. Remember, once you've chosen this area, this will be your area for life. You're going to marry this area and love it. So we advertise a property. So let's say there's a road called Nelson Street. You don't put the exact property down. You don't take a property off Rightmove and advertise someone else's house. But you might say 3-bedroom house, Nelson Street, Nottingham, 3-bedroom house, you know, and you describe it how it's going to be. So the houses on Nelson Street, Nottingham might be semi-detached with a garden front and back. So you put 3-bedroom house, garden front and back, just refurbished, £600 per month. Call this number, okay? And what you're looking for is at least 10 replies in the first week. If you don't get 10 replies, you don't buy any properties on that street or in that area. Okay, so you've got 6 areas. You run an advert in each of the 6. Okay, for an average street, and 4 of them you get 10 replies. 2 areas you don't. Great, you're now down to those 4 areas. You've rejected the others because although you believe you can get that rent, you've not got a massive demand for it. So now we've got 4 areas that are all within a mile of the school, all within 5 miles of the town centre, all of which you know you've got a target price to buy them and a target rent. What do you do next? You look at the sold prices, not the for sale prices over the last year. Okay, the last year gives you a good feel of current market price. You'll use Rightmove. You can click on a tab called sold prices, and you want at least 10 properties in that mile radius that are of your type to give you solidity in your sale price. Okay, if you can find 10 properties that are all 3-bedroom semis that match that with a garden front and back that have sold in the last year, and they all sold for a range of 95 to 105, you've got a great solid feel of what properties are worth in that area. Okay, what do you do next? Cut off the outliers. If there's one in there at 120 and one in there at 83, but all the rest are between 95 and 105, cut off the outliers. Anything that's more than 10,000 outside the normal trend, okay, cut it off. You want to make sure you've got at least 8 left to average. If you haven't got that many, you're probably guessing a bit of the prices. Work out the average price of that type of property in this area. Okay, now we've worked out the average price. Let's say the average is 100. Knock 15% off that price, so that gets us to 85,000. That's your offer price. So basically, you've picked this area. You can offer 85,000 on everything. Look at what's on the market that matches your criteria and target properties, and offer your offer to the estate agent on a property. So remember, if the average is 100, some of these will be on at 105 and 110. You're going to be offering 85,000. Okay, so you're going to ring up the estate agents and offer 85,000 on every house that's for sale. So if you've picked an area now, there's 6 houses that meet your criteria, you're offering 85,000 for all of them. You need to learn to position your offer with the estate agent. That's taught on a different video, but it's really vital. If you just ring up and offer 85,000, they'll think you're a time waster. But if you learn to position that in the correct way, it can be put forward in the right way. Be prepared to get slapped a lot of times. It's like the guy or lady that go out on the pull at 10 to 2 in the old days, 10 to 2, and they're trying to get somebody for the night, and they get a few slaps around the face, but eventually somebody succumbs. Okay, don't be afraid to get slapped. Don't be afraid for no's. Don't be afraid. Don't be rejected by no's. Okay, it's fine for people to say no. You're just saying, I'll buy it for that. I'm not looking to offend you. I'll buy it for that. Are you interested? No. Are you interested? No. Are you interested? No. Are you interested? Eventually someone goes, yes. You go, brilliant. I've made it. Okay, you want to persuade these estate agents to work with you. Okay, so you build relationship with the estate agents. You take them donuts every Monday morning. Okay, I used to work with a builder about 15 years ago, and we bought properties and refurbished them. We were working in Hull. There were 5 estate agents in the locality where we wanted to buy these properties. Every single Monday morning, 9 a.m. as they opened, or as soon as he could get to them, because there was 5 of them, he was walking in with a bag of donuts for the office. Okay, it cost about £1 per office, £5 a week. He became known as the donut man. You've done that for 8, 9, 10 weeks. You're the donut man. Guess what? When the type of deal that came up that David was interested in, the people in the office would say, hey, the donut man would like that property. The donut man. They'd ring the donut man before the property was even on the market. David was looking around it, front of the queue positioning, and it cost £5 a week. Awesome and simple. How will you position yourself? Take them donuts, take them cakes. Okay? Appreciate that they don't like putting your offer forward. Normally when you ring to put an offer in and you're offering £85,000, the estate agent, who is normally a younger person, rings up Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and the conversation's something like, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, we've got an offer for your property. You're not going to like it. I've got to give you it by law. I've got to forward the offer, but you're not going to like it. Okay, so I don't want to tell you really, but I will tell you they've offered 85,000. Now, if it's positioned in that way, guess what the Mr. and Mrs. Smith say? They say, yeah, we don't like it. Reject. Okay. However, so you have to coach the estate agent. So you start by acknowledging their difficult position. They don't want to put that offer forward. That's not their favorite thing to do. So look, you coach them. Look, I know you're not going to like this, okay? And I know it's not ideal for you because my offer is not going to be a brilliant offer, okay? I buy lots and lots of properties, but I always want a discount. So I want you to make sure, if you don't mind, and find out their name. I say it's Emma. So Emma, I want you to make sure, if you don't mind, Emma, that we don't offend the vendors. I don't want them to be offended by my offer. So if you wouldn't mind, what I find best is when you put the offer forward, can you just let them know up front, look, you've got someone who's deadly serious. I'm totally serious about buying their property. I will not waste their time. I will get it done in the next 4 weeks. So if they want a quick sale, I'm a great option. They may not like the offer, and I don't want them to be offended. So it's just what I do. So please don't be offended. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, that's fine. You just know it's on the table if you want it. And can you just make sure they know that I'm serious? I can do it in 4 weeks. I don't mean to offend. It's just what I offer. If they like it, great. If they don't like it, that's absolutely fine as well. I just want them to know it's available to them if they like it. Would you mind putting it forward like that, Emma? Because then if you put it forward like that, they'll understand and they won't be offended. And Emma will go, great, yes, I'll put it forward like that. And she might even learn something from you that day about how to put forward poorer offers. And hopefully then she puts it forward in that way. You definitely want to speak to the person in the estate agent who's going to put the offer in. So Emma, are you going to be putting the offer to the vendors? No, it's done by Cheryl, our negotiator. Great, can I speak to Cheryl then, please? She's not available right now. Well, can I call her back then? I'd like to speak to whoever's going to put the offer in. Okay. By the way, I'd then put that in writing to Cheryl as well. So I'd put in writing exactly what I just said in words. You just put in writing, you send that over to Cheryl. She's got the same thing in writing. She's almost got a script in front of her. So Cheryl, I'm just going to email over exactly what I just said, and feel free to even email it across to the vendors if you want to. So they've seen my heart with this. They know I'm not trying to offend. It's really important to me that they know I'm not trying to offend them, that they just understand that this is an offer. They may well not take it, but if they want to sell fast, they know they've got this in their back pocket. Okay. Very unoffensive, very unassuming. You've coached the estate agent in an unoffensive way how to put it forward for you. You've appreciated they don't like putting your offers forward. Okay. When a property is agreed, so you get your 10 slaps, the 11th property gets agreed, you have to be ready to rock and roll. You have to prove it to the estate agent. You cannot position yourself as someone who buys quickly, and then they say, great, it's been agreed. Who's your mortgage broker? And you go, I don't know yet, I need to sort it out. Who's your mortgage with? I don't know, I need to sort it out. Who's your solicitors? I don't know. You need to be ready to rock and roll. You need that expert team already in place. If you've not watched the video on it or you can't remember it, go watch the expert team create a video. This is crucial. Remember, these properties do not have to be local to you. Family let is an investor strategy. 3-4 bedroom properties, investor strategy. It is best to outsource this to somebody else to do. What am I talking about? I'm talking about outsourcing your sourcing. For about £3,000, you can pay somebody, a professional property sourcer who makes a living finding awesome deals. So if you're going to do it yourself, follow these steps. But my generic advice is there are companies out there that kick butt at this and are superb at this and do all the hard yards. People like the Insight Group, my business. We do all the hard yards, all the sifting, all the effort, all the work. I have 4 full-time members of the team constantly sourcing awesome properties for our clients. We've helped our clients to buy over 1,000 properties because we're good at this. Outsourcing and paying someone £3,000 to do that can save you a world of time. Okay, so it is best to outsource, but if you're going to do it yourself, these are the steps that you're going to need to follow. So here's your homework. What are the first 3 areas you're going to look at? So I said Nottingham. So is it going to be Nottingham, Leeds, and Manchester? Is it going to be Nottingham, Sheffield, and Rotherham? What are they going to be? What are your first 3 areas that you're going to do this due diligence on? And remember, it will take time at the beginning. It might take you 10, 15, 20 hours of work at the beginning. But once you've identified your golden area, guess what? It's golden forever. Forever. You can just shop in that area. Every house you buy will be in that area. By the way, if you're trying to attract joint venture money, Imagine explaining this process to somebody who's got the money. You're now positioning yourself as someone with the time and the experience. I've already done all this research. This exact area here, in this exact town, by this exact school, for this exact reason, is the best place to invest. Wow. Imagine the power that gives you to get other people investing with you. So we've been talking about the powerful purchase plan. You need to go take action with this now. Go do the work, do the hard yards, take the action. This is really incredibly powerful once you've done this work, and once you can articulate and talk about it to other people, you will find yourself able to raise money from other people, and you will find yourself only buying diamond properties instead of buying average properties or even just good ones. You want outstanding every single time. Invest with knowledge, invest with confidence, create financial freedom. I'll speak to you all very soon. Thank you.